You know what? I don't feel like saving the world today. I'm ghosting on the Reapers, Dr. Nefarious is going directly to voicemail, and Xehanort can go do whatever it was he was doing. I'm taking some me time. I need something cozy. I think I've got just the thing. Let's talk about some cozy games. What makes them cozier than average, and I'll let you in on one S-tier extreme pro level cozy game that I've just finished playing. But first, if you want to multiply your coziness, try starting a new hobby with help from today's episode sponsor, Skillshare. I recommend Animation for Graphic Designers, how to animate a logo. If you've watched this channel for long, you know I love animation. I love how just a few very simple techniques can bring something static to life. William Kessling has a step-by-step guide for how to design, set up, and work through a logo in After Effects to get something really eye-catching. I use many of these techniques all the time in my videos. They're super handy. But that's not the only thing you could learn. Skillshare helps you get started in animation, photography, graphic design, creative writing, arts and crafts. If you've got a hobby, or if you're just looking to start a new one, Skillshare can help you explore it deeper. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creators, curated and ad-free. They've got a new summer promo going now too. The first 1,000 people to click the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, so you can start exploring your creativity today. Thanks, Skillshare. What makes a game cozy anyway? If we set out to make a game cozier, what would we do? It's kinda hard to pin down. I think there are things that contribute to coziness, and other factors that a lot of people think are necessary for a game to be cozy, but are just traditions and tropes that a lot of them use, but you could still make a game cozy without them. I think the keys to coziness are low pressure gameplay, without a lot of consequences for failing at a task or difficult survival elements, simple stylistic visuals, fun characters, and a light story tone. You could even get away with basically no story if you want. There's one game I played recently that does all of these things, and is my cozy pick of the summer. It's a short hike. This episode is half an excuse for me to gush about a short hike. It's great. You play as a bird, and you're going with your aunt on a quick getaway drive up to this nature park she works at to de-stress for a bit. The park surrounds Hawks Peak. Perhaps you'd like the climate. It's a short hike. The game has barely any setup and throws you right into things with a loose goal and an entire park to explore. The park is a popular tourist spot and full of characters to talk to and help out. They're all quirky and written with that sort of natural, endearing dialogue that you might find in something like Later Alligator or Undertale. Hawks Peak is incredibly dense with things to do. As you go from place to place in the park, you'll stumble into something new around almost every corner. You'll find key items scattered throughout, unlocking new mechanics to use, but the game doesn't limit you to only one place to find the items. These buds bloom and act as a trampoline to let you glide around easier, but the bucket you need to activate them can be found in a bunch of places throughout the mountain, not just one. There's a kid that needs a toy shovel to finish his sandcastle, but there are 5 different places where the game will let you find one. Scattering key items like that helps you complete tasks in the middle of doing whatever exploring you found most interesting. There is no set path up the hill, and no set order in which you'll meet people or complete tasks. It's entirely at your own pace, and you can take or leave the elements that most interest you. You don't have to complete everything either. There's nothing really to gate you off from achieving your goals, save for one clearly marked place, and you just collect what you want to in whatever order feels right. Whatever you want to do is totally fine with the game. You fell off a cliff while exploring? Well, that's very good for a first try. You keep at it. There's no real penalty for missing a jump, or gliding too far, or falling off a cliff. You're a bird after all, so you can glide your way out of most things anyway. The game is not only mechanically satisfying, but graphically impressive for something that only took 3 months to make from start to finish. The sense of depth that the game plays with is outstanding. From the game's usual isometric angle, you don't get a sense of it. You're focused on the local area and what you can do and where you can go. But every so often, you'll reach one of these lookout points, and you can see just how far you've come. There's a haze effect at medium range, and a really smart desaturation and outline technique the game uses for things far off in the distance, hinting at something that might pique your interest. Maybe you should go over there too. There are secrets in these hills, and you can spend the time seeking them out, or not, whatever you're feeling. The whole game might only take you an hour or two to complete, but that's really up to you. If you want to linger around talking to everyone you find and helping them with their problems, be my guest. If you want to blitz up the mountain, have at it. It's your getaway. Do whatever feels right to you. A Short Hike is a classically cozy game, but there are elements in it that you can easily change without losing that cozy charm. Games tend to feel cozier when they have low consequences, but that doesn't mean they have to be these squishy, aimless things. They can still feel cozy while being focused and having clear goals. Grow Home is a very simple physics-based platformer. You're a clumsy little robot named Bud who has to jump, climb, and glide his way around a huge plant to get back to his mothership floating high above the planet. The plant is filled with these branching buds. If you grab one, you'll ride it as it grows and you can sort of steer the plant towards other things, like these glowing landmasses that give energy to the plant. Along the way, you'll find and collect some crystals that give Bud upgrades that help you traverse the world easier. That's about it. Grow Home has a very single-minded overarching goal, but stays cozy with its relaxing cycle of jumping, climbing, growing plants, and collecting as you get closer and closer to the mothership. It's more single-minded than a Short Hike, but still very relaxed and lets you go about that goal at your own pace. The game uses a calm ambient soundtrack, a low-poly art style, the occasional soothing song, and the mothership's computer cheering you on to keep its relaxed vibe. There's no time pressure, no combat, and hardly any enemies to get in your way, save for the occasional creature. Even if you died to it though, there's not much consequence. Or much consequence from falling off the plant for that matter. You'll just get teleported back to the nearest beacon. It's just you, the plant, and a ton of crystals to collect as you climb your way back home. But as you go up, pause for a second every once in a while, and take in a vista. You've earned it. A cozy game doesn't have to be sugary sweet either. A Short Hike and Animal Crossing are known for being as pleasant as possible all the way through. But you can still have a nice low-key time being an absolute jerk. It worked for Dennis the Menace, why can't it work for a goose? Untitled Goose Game is a cozy game where you play as the villain. You're a goose working your way through a small neighborhood and going through a literal checklist of mayhem, ruining the day of everyone in your path. It sounds mean-spirited, and it is, but it's so cozy and endearing. The presentation and scope of the game do a lot of work here. It's a puzzle-focused adventure game where you operate on the world by manipulating NPCs to complete tasks. It's all about exploring the different ways you can affect the environment and mess around with the townsfolk in specific ways. Actually, it's kinda like a cozy version of Hitman if you think about it. Honk at this kid over and over and you'll scare him. Chase him around and you might trap him in the phone booth. Or you could steal this gardener's prized rose, and while he's distracted, you can snatch his hat and force him to wear this. There's plenty to poke at in the environment, and lots of things to experiment on to see what different behaviors everyone will have in different scenarios. Like a Short Hike, there's basically no chance to fail, and it's easy to get right back where you were if something goes weird. The minimalist piano soundtrack, flat-colored art style, and the premise all lend themselves to a delightful low-key experience of being an absolute nuisance. You might think you see a pattern here. Lots of cozy games seem to have fairly similar aesthetics, but be careful. Focusing on aesthetics to determine whether or not a game is cozy can trip you up. On the surface, Night in the Woods looks extremely cozy. Look at that art style. Animal characters, the dialogue is super casual and relatable, the music's great, it's not mechanically demanding. It's just this cozy little adventure game where you go around your small town and do stuff, right? Oh no. Well, yes, sort of, but no. Night in the Woods' story, I'd say, takes it firmly out of the cozy camp. You play as May, who's coming home from college under mixed circumstances. Your hometown is there, but nothing's quite how you left it. There's the natural change over time, especially in that post-high school way where all your friends drift apart a little bit to do their own thing. But the town's not doing so hot either. Work is hard to come by, and the town is in this slow decay cycle. The people in it are a little more standoffish than you remember. It's all sort of the same, but not quite. You're gonna meet back up with your best friends, catch up, and see if there's something else going on. The game explores personal growth and change, urban decay, social and psychological trauma, and whether or not you can go home again. It's not a huge downer, but these are some heavy themes that the game plays up. It's a great game, yes, But cozy? Not really. It's pretty funny though. You wouldn't expect a game like this to be anything but cozy. And yet, here it is. Okay. Now I'm ready to save the world again. Thanks, Cozy Games. Head down to the comments where we'll be talking about more cozy games that I didn't mention. Leave your recommendations. Cozy games aren't just about an aesthetic. They're the product of lots of factors working together to help you relax.